The church has been rescued by faith in Jesus Christ from suffering the wrath of God. And the tribulation is 7 years of God pouring out his wrath. And we've gone through this several times, but the idea is we are right now on the runway to blast off, because looking at all the things in the world that are going on, it is evident the world ain't going to keep going intact with all these things going on. Something is about to happen. And whatever that is and however long it takes, it will not be the tribulation as long as the church is in the world, because the tribulation by Scripture cannot begin until the church is taken out of the world. That's the first observation you want to make. So this is not the tribulation. This is like what Jesus said again in the Olivet Discourse, the labor pains of a woman about to give birth. The closer she gets to giving delivery, her pains are more frequent and more intense. He's saying to us that the closer we get to this time of these 7 years, there will be signs that will be more indicative of what's about to happen, and they'll be happening in a more greater way. For instance, you saw the news of the people in South Korea. The Korean War was never settled. They just have amnesty and a DMZ border to separate the North Koreans from the South Koreans. But that war, they ceased fire, but it's never had a resolution. And that leader in North Korea is similar to some of the other leaders in the world that they are determined to conquer and invade other territories. And those people in South Korea simply are rebelling against their president, that he has been a very popular president and effective. And I was watching that and I was talking about that's probably going to happen over here, because we won't be pleased without it. If wrong just won't wait. Legal is one thing, but stuff that's wrong, whether it's legal or not, people ain't going to go for it. This is one people ain't going to go for it right here. I'm talking to you about. But anyway, they're uprising. And Jesus said again in the Olivet Discourse, you're going to hear of wars and rumors of war. And in our generation and in the last 10 years, that's all you hear. They ain't fighting in one place, they're fighting in two places. It just is ever increasing, always going on. And there's been a tribal war going on in Africa for over 25 years. It's not in the headlines of the news because they are black tribal people, and it just doesn't make, for some reason, doesn't make Western news that much, but it's been going on. There's no peace on earth. When the angel said, on the night Christ was born, peace and goodwill to man, the peace on earth rather, he was projecting the potential that peace one day will come now that the Prince of Peace has come. But there ain't been no peace on the world in a long time. The next thing I want to point out, the Antichrist established the 7-year peace treaty with Israel, thereby confirming the covenant. Now here's what that's about. This 7 year, this 22 chapters we're going to talk about, it begins with the introduction of a person who is going to be satanically impressed, who is going to generate a satisfactory peace agreement between Israel and her enemies. Now, that person is the son of perdition or the Antichrist in biblical literature. He's also known as the beast that comes up out of the sea in the book of Daniel and the book of Revelation. This person, if everything is coming together like it appears to be, is most seduced.